So we talked about how C major as a scale can give you these 7 chords. They can give you C major, maybe this is major, and then these are minor, D minor, E minor, A minor, F major, G major, and finally B diminished at the end. But because there are 12 different scales, maybe you're wondering, what happens to all the other scales? Do I have to do all the work we did last time with this? And the answer is surprisingly no. There's a lot of patterns. If you have the same scale, we know that there are 2 half steps here, 2 half steps here, 1 half step here. From the major scale, we get this pattern. And this is the same even if you're in D major or any other major scale. You get the same pattern, right? So based on that, there's all between your 1, if you want to draw this a little bit more abstractly, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. These are your scale degrees. Same thing here. It doesn't matter what they are, just the fact that there's scale degrees. So if you look here, there's always 2, there's always 2, there's always 1, always 2, always 2, always 2, always 1, half steps between these notes. And so from here to here, there's always 4, and from here to here, from here to here, there's always 3. Here's 2 plus 2 equals 4, 1 plus 3 equals 3. So it doesn't matter what scale you're in, as long as it's a major scale. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter what your tonic is. You still have 1 as a major chord. So same thing here. 2 to 4 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. And then 4 to 6 is 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's 4 there as well. So we have 3 and 4. That's the formula for a minor chord. So we just have all of this. It's all the same. And same, so on and so forth. You can keep checking. 3 to 6 is 3 and then 4 again. So that would be a minor chord as well. And if you look at this and we keep going, it's all the same. It never changes. I'll keep the same color here just to say it always stays the same. So it doesn't matter what scale you're in. As long as you know the scale, you can know exactly what chords to play based on just this. It's a lot of simplification. All you need is this much. So if we look at D major, all D major has is these notes. So then you take this and you apply it to this, just like this is the same thing, just using these letters. So all you have to do is say, well, this is our 1, this is our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 again, right? So your chords would simply be D major, because it's a 1 chord in D, and we could figure this out the long way if you wanted to. Well, there's 4 here, there's 3 here, 2 plus 1, or I'm sorry, 2 plus 2, right? So, and 1 plus 2. So 4 and 3. You could do this if you wanted to, but you don't really have to even do this with all the scales. As long as it works in 1, it works in all of them. So here's D major, and then the next one would simply be E minor, like this. Okay, and the next one would be F sharp minor, just like that. So then we write F sharp minor. Okay. So if you want to play in these scales, this is a really easy way to figure out what scales have what chords. Okay, and then finally B minor and C sharp diminished, and that's it. You would write it like that, simply like that. Again, this would be the same thing. If you were in the key of D, you could simply use this notation instead. Just like if you were in the key of C, you could use this notation, and this pertains to these chords, and this pertains to these chords. So it's a very oversimplification process that you don't need all of this information. You don't need all of this information. As long as you know what the notes are in D major, you can make up the rest of the chords that go with it. And then you say, well, this is D major. And I know that number 2, I know the supertonic of D is E, and it's got to be E minor, so I got to play the chord E minor. Okay? And then this will be F sharp minor, etc. So you can go forward and backwards all the way through this, and it's really, really simple. So then eventually you might have a song that has, like, you know, a simple melody. Maybe this is in the key of D major. And you'll have like D, C, D, or whatever, something like that, right? Or notes going, or stems going down. On da-da-dun, rest, and then you go like that. And then so maybe under this you would just simply have a 1 chord, which means that your left hand, if you're playing piano, or if you're playing in a band or something and someone has the melody, maybe this is your singer. If you're playing guitar or something, you would know that under this, because this is a 1 chord in the key of D major, you're just playing D. So it's really simple. And then if you say, oh wait, you know what, D's too high, let's get rid of D, let's just make it go to C. and you would know that the one chord in C is now C. These notes would come down as well. And maybe I can do this. And then you have a way to move music around. And we'll see more how to do that in the future. But this is a little glimpse of how easy it is to use different keys and use this notation. A lot of people get stuck in just using chords. You know, they just like say, oh, this is D. And then it says, well, I can't play this in the key of D. My instrument doesn't play that way, or I can't sing that high, or I can't sing that low. Can we do it in another key? And you want to move to another key, maybe from D to C, or D to G, or D to F sharp or something. And if you know this stuff and you can apply it to a new one, then it makes your music so much easier. You can just say, oh, you know, this chord progression is just a 1, 4, maybe there's a 6 and there's a 5, and it goes like this. Just repeat this over and over and over. And you can move this to any key you want, and it would sound fine. So that's the use of using Roman numerals to notate your chords in music.